Relationships are everything, and knowing who to let into your life can make all the difference in determining the entire quality of your life, whether you spend it in joy and fulfillment or regret and misery. So you might want to be careful who you associate with or choose wisely, especially when it comes to romantic relationships. Most times, we want to dance to the tune of our own hearts because it is usually the easiest path to follow. You meet a person, share a bond or connection, feel the rush and the fluttering, and simply follow the butterflies. Voila, you're in love, and it just seems to happen naturally. Yet, if you follow the natural order of things, you will find that they tend to disintegrate in the end. As the Bible says, there is a way that seems right to a man, but in the end leads to destruction. Give it a few months, or according to experts, an average of 2 years, and you will discover that those feelings are nowhere to be found. So, what happens after that? Does it denote the end of the relationship? This is why you have to be careful who you let into your life. You should carefully observe them and ask yourself some questions before concluding. Do you see the desirable qualities of a life partner in them? How about their commitment? Will they stay in the long run or run when things become difficult? What do people, family, and friends around you have to say about him or her? These and more are things you have to check before giving that person a chance in your heart. You have to be sure when it comes to issues like this. Do not play the guessing game or go through the trial and error method as many people do. The wreck that can be left when you allow a wrong person can be sometimes irreparable, or could take a long time to heal. I'm sure that you do not want to go through this or have such an experience again in case you have been a victim before. They are sincerely in love with you. Life can be funny at times. The people you love the most, the one who loves you the most, and the one you end up marrying should be one person, but that is not the case 99% of the time. What we have these days is a meaningless love triangle that usually refuses to resolve itself. So, the person you are in love with might not feel the same way about you, and you might find someone who loves you, but you do not feel the same way. What do you do in situations like these? As stated earlier, do not go looking for butterflies as the reason to start a relationship. They most likely would not last except you implement other necessary factors to have a successful relationship. However, love can be built, and feelings that were not there initially can grow with time in the right kind of atmosphere. You should be able to tell if a person loves you sincerely or not. Love is not something that can be hidden, neither is it a mystery that can be understood only by specialists. The fruits and evidence of love are out there for all you to see. Beyond the mushy feelings that come with being in love, there is also the aspect of distinguishing between what is real and what is not, differentiating between men and boys. If a person loves you sincerely, not for what they can get or because of some things you possess, it will be evident in their actions. What are you waiting for? In these days of superficiality and selfish ambitions, it can be quite difficult to find someone genuinely interested in you without some hidden agenda or purpose. How do you then differentiate real love from what is not? Well, love is patient, kind, forgiving, enduring, giving, makes sacrifices, and many more. If you have to behave in a certain way around that person or cannot be yourself because they disapprove of some things, you should let those kind of people go. Someone who loves you sincerely would love your person and love you for who you are. You can tell from the look in their eyes because they make you feel like the only one in the world. They express it in their speech, affirming their love to you over and over again. And most importantly, you can see it in their actions. They want to spend time with you, get to know you more while being patient. Even when you take your time to make a decision, they will be there waiting, and they do not give up easily. For them, you are worth it, and they are willing to do anything within reasonable limits to make you see their love for you and reciprocate the same. Such love is rare to find these days, but not impossible. If you find someone like this, you should give them a chance and let them into your life. You might find trust issues and find it difficult to open up or let anyone in. But then, that is the whole point of being observant and careful before reaching a conclusion or making your decision. Besides, love is the most powerful force on earth. If it is genuine, you can hardly fight against it successfully. It will break through your walls and defenses. Even if you were not attracted in the first place, you will begin to find yourself drawn by sheer force and sincerity of the person's love. This is just one of the many signs to know whether to allow that person into your life or not. It should not be ignored or taken lightly. Your lives are directed towards the same path. Life has been described in different ways, one of it being a big market where you have different transactions, meet different people, conduct your business, and return to your abode. It is also viewed as a long journey with various stops along the road. Now, imagine you meet someone at one of those stops. You bond well, enjoy each other's company, and just wish time will stop so you will be able to be together. But that is you wishing. Time would not stop, and you have got to continue your journey. Just how beautiful will it be to discover that you are both headed the same direction and can continue the journey together? Otherwise, the connection will be broken if you have to go in a different direction. In essence, before you become too attached, you should know the direction in which that person is headed. Despite the feelings in your heart, you just have to be deliberate about some things. Except there is mutual agreement that relationships will not work out. Sometimes you might be tempted to compromise and give up your dreams for the sake of being together. But this might also result in resentment and bitterness in the future. There will be little things that you might have to come to compromise on in any relationship, but there are some that cannot be adjusted. What are your goals, dreams, and visions? What are your values in life? Now, do they match with a person's? If yes, then you know that you can journey together without hitches. Otherwise, you should go your separate ways. They are there for the long haul. Commitment is very vital in any relationship to be successful. It is easy to stay committed and true when things are going fine, especially at the beginning. But how long that person will last is something you have to consider. Anyone you are considering to be with should be someone you have known for some time and would have observed some of their behaviors and attitudes to life in general. If you are consistent and steady, can be trusted with other things, then there is likelihood they would do the same with you. Their track record of reliability is a sign you should let that person into your life, knowing that they will not run off when you need them. They believe in God. This is basic and non-negotiable. No matter how good, kind, and loving person they claim to be or seems to be, that kind of relationship will not work out eventually, or it might be filled with strife and conflicts. Even worse is that you might become distracted or redirected in your journey or purpose. Apart from Adam, God did not choose a specific person for anyone in the scriptures. Well, except for Hosea. And that's because he wanted to make it a point using Hosea's marriage as an analogy. So while God may or may not be specific on who you should be with, depending on different individuals, he is quite particular about the kind of person you should associate with or allow into your life. 2 Corinthians 6:14-16 says, "Do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has righteousness with lawlessness? And what communion has light with darkness? And what accord has Christ with Belial? Or what part has a believer with an unbeliever?" 16. "And what agreement has the temple of God with idols? For you are the temple of the living God. As God has said, I will dwell in them and walk among them. I will be their God, and they shall be my people." Fulfilling God's purpose for your life should be your ultimate goal, and nobody should keep you from achieving just that.